Alright, so today we are talking about Sion, the main character of the Melty Blood series. Sion is a versatile, high execution, high reward character. Offensively, she has some very solid normals that are paired with a fast dash that creates a very difficult to deal with pressure game, full of overheads and frame traps that can be very difficult to escape. She has access to a unique resource tied to her gunshot series of specials. These specials use various amount of bullets, and then once the bullets are used up, she enters a reload animation that is very minus, so that's definitely something to watch out for. Each moon sort of uses this series of specials a little bit differently, so we'll break that down a little bit later. Another notable special on all moons is her 214A whip special. This special forces a untechable knockdown. This will be integral for running her knockdown game. This ends up making her a character with very strong momentum that can easily snowball their way to victory. Defensively, she does have access to a traditional DP that is best in its class, just don't get it baited out. Before we get into the moon breakdown, I do just want to give a shout out to my Discord server. We have various netplay roles for MBAC plus R and some other fighting games. Just a positive FGC community. We are also running a book club. If that's something you're interested in, go check it out. Link down in the description below. Alright, so let's talk about Crescent Moon first. Crescent Moon Sion is a very technical and aggressive close-range fighter. She has access to strong neutral buttons. On the ground, she has her 214A whip special and dash up 5A. In the air, she has JC and J2C. Her block strings can be deadly. Notably, 6B is a very fast overhead that can be very hard to read. Her 6C, 4C is a solid way to reset pressure, allowing her to pull the opponent right back in to start a new string. Her 236 Charged B is a gunshot special that locks down the opponent with multiple shots while leaving Sion very plus on block. Once she does open up her opponent, she's heavily rewarded. She has access to something called JC loops that not only do a ton of damage, but also gains her a solid chunk of meter. She can cash this meter out on an extremely difficult to read left-right mix-up. Defensively, she has access to Rising JA that hits grounded opponents, and generally works as a solid jump out button. There's also her 623B, which is a traditional DP. It does everything you'd want out of a DP, and a great option if your opponent doesn't predict it. The only thing Crescent Sion really struggles with is her ability to corner carry, and sometimes those stubby buttons makes it really hard to contest specific situations. Alright, let's talk about Half Moon. Half Moon Sion is purely focused on rushdown and a strong knockdown game. If you can get your opponent blocking, they will be stuck there for a while. Using your fast dash, you'll want to perform hard to read tick throw setups, using your great A normals, and eventually push them into the corner where your game plan really opens up. You have access to two solid overheads in 6B and 6C that really elevates her pressure even more. If you're finding space in between you and your opponent, you can use her whip and gunshot specials for zoning. Half Moon has a slightly different gunshot special than Full and Crescent. Instead of going straight, Half Moon's ricochets around the screen. It is a little bit slower to start up, making it a bit trickier, but the reward is very solid. If you get a hit, you will be able to convert that into a combo. If they block it, you can convert that into pressure. Once you open up your opponent, you'll be able to combo into her 214A whip special. This will force an untechable knockdown, and from there you can run a variety of knockdown game plans, but generally they are going to boil down into a difficult to read left-right mix. If they're wrong, they'll eat another combo ending in 214A, which will just put them right back into the same mix-up. This can easily be snowballed into a win for Sion. Defensively, she doesn't have much. She does have a fast shield bunker because she is in Half Moon, which does grant an untechable knockdown that deals no damage but in exchange for 100 meter, but typically you'll want to be looking for jump outs or using 623B, which is an invincible on startup DP. Finally, we have Full Moon. Full Moon is probably the easiest and most straightforward version of the character. She's great at controlling space with gunshot special, most commonly the A version, which is only -1 on block, and is great when fishing for counter hits. As with all the other versions of Sion, Full Moon is solid at pressuring, especially in the corner. She has access to multiple overheads, a running command grab, great cancel windows, a ton of plus on block normals, as you would expect from a full moon character, paired with a fast dash. This can be very scary to challenge. She has a lot of different options, and a lot of options means it's going to take a big toll on your opponent's mental stack, making it very hard to predict what's coming next. Once she does open up her opponent, she has her own version of JC loops that dish out amazing damage. Her air game is absolutely phenomenal. She has air normals that are great at sniping out approaches due to them having a massive amount of active frames and solid disjoints. While 2148 is a solid button, it is a little bit slower than the other moons in exchange for it being safe on block. This does make it a bit harder to use in neutral, so use it with caution. She does have a hard time retreating though. While she is blazing fast when moving forward, she does have a slower back walk and a short back dash. This leads her to have to use air back dash as a retreating option, which can result in it being pretty predictable. And that just about covers everything for Sion. Crescent Moon is definitely going to be the hardest to use. She's the most technical, but she's probably the most rewarding. Half Moon is very interesting with just that blazing offense. It's really fun, especially if you get that snowball going, and Full Moon has a whole variety of tricks. You can't really make a bad decision when picking a moon style for Sion, but let me know what you thought of the video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe for this kind of content. I am looking to try to make a bunch more Melty Blood content. It's really consuming my brain as of lately, so as always, keep playing fighting games and have a good rest of your day.